And welcome back to the Nita Black Show. I really appreciate you guys giving all the interest in the videos. I appreciate the likes and subscribes and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for the stuff that you're saying about the books. I'm glad that you're finding things that are interesting and helpful to you. Okay, we're going to talk about Jay Z. We know the first person that you most ask about is Beyonce, and the second person that you most ask questions about is Jay Z. And uh, today we're going to talk about some of your questions as it relates to pimping and prostituting in the Hollywood industry. So, you guys know I'm going to leave you some links to the books in the description. And I have a poem there. It's called My Beautiful Black Entertainers. They kind of break down for you in the ABCs of Blackness series what's really going on with that. But today I'm going to give you kind of a little um, understanding of what's happening. Okay, so when it comes to Jay Z and Beyonce, you're talking about two people that already was presenting themselves as Jay Z presenting himself as a pimp and a drug dealer before becoming famous, and um, you have Beyonce who was trying to make a name for herself by becoming more out in the front of Destiny's Child and kind of putting herself out there as to be the new queen of whatever, and willing to do anything to make that name for herself and see her, her fame rise. So what you had industry people, white people doing that were saw them as a commodity, and that they always have people that they see the it guy and the it female in movies, sports, whatever, and they decide to put those two should be together. And if you have one or both that is already showing interest in the other one, then the industry people just make it happen. And it's not always a match made in heaven, but the industry will make it happen anyway and let them know that it's good for business. So what you had was Jay-Z, who in the beginning, of course, thought it was great to have the whole Beyonce thing, which to have a Beyonce on his arm, which uh, a bunch of guys were um, envious of him for having Beyonce, and she was the what they would call a dime piece, and um, you know he she made him look good, and made other guys envious of him for having her. With Beyonce, Jay Z was the rough guy, um, the big name, the guy that would make her, look more streetwise, and give her something to, be able to tell her people about, I got Jay Z. Be able to tell other females I got Jay Z. So those two got together to create a business partnership, and it then turned into a marriage as things started going badly. So I'm gonna tell you the real deal. Um, the original setup was for a partnership, whereas we can sell a lot of this, we can sell a lot of that with us being together. As feelings get involved, usually from the female wants more, and she's like, "Well, I want to get married." The male is usually kind of hesitant, and but ends up getting married so that he does not lose what he's built up, which is a partnership, and doesn't lose what he considers to be a female that everybody else wants, because he doesn't want to see that female with somebody else. So it becomes a okay, we'll get married thing. And the marriage usually goes through the same stuff the boyfriend and girlfriends go through. The guy is still, because he wasn't in love with the person, he still goes out there looking for other people. And most guys are still looking for true love. They not sure that they found it. They, in some cases, they know they haven't found it, and they're still looking for true love. That love that just makes them feel really, really good. And then the females, once they have the guy, they settle in as to, I'm used to this life, and I don't want to give this life up, so I'm not going to give the guy up and see some other female with this life that I have that's mine. So what the industry does, once they see that those two people are really hungry for the life, for the spotlight, for the money, they simply just feed off of that, and they'll have, it'll become a thing where these two are told they have to stay together, they have to be together because of the business. And what whites did with Jay-Z and Beyonce, you have white males that literally prostituted uh, Jay, Jay-Z. That's the bottom line of it. He wanted more money. He wanted to get that double diamond carat himself. And they said, this is how you get it. You got to do what we tell you to do. You got to let us do what we want to do. And he agreed. He signed the contracts. He agreed. It's simple as that. And Beyonce wanting to that same fame and big name and double diamond carat, she was willing to do whatever in order to be the number one of everything. So having those two with that kind of greed, it's really greed, that kind of hunger, but that kind of greed, um, they allowed themselves to be presented to audiences, to in concerts and whatnot, no matter how much money, like I told you in the other video, the Beyonce video, no matter how much money Beyonce had or made, or how big a name she was set up as simply the number one prostitute of Jay-Z, and he was set up as the number one pimp of gangster rap. And that's how they're being billed. That's how they may not say it in those particular words, but as you see some of their concerts, as you see some of their shows, you see that that is a pimp and a prostitute, period. Whatever words are coming out of their mouth, whatever, and sometimes the words actually tell you what it is. But that is very, very it's hard for a female, because she feels like she has all this talent, and she wants to be seen as more than just Jay-Z's prostitute. And Jay-Z gets tired of the whole thing himself. And, but in Hollywood, you are a prostitute, period. That is what you are. You sell yourself to these white males, and now a bunch of white females are becoming directors and producers and whatnot. You sell yourself to them for a large amount of money. And the contracts is not like just with a regular job where you can quit. These contracts, you have to fulfill these contracts. There's no out. There's no opt out for these contracts. So it becomes very depressing for people after a while, especially when they really, really, really want to get out. So I hope that answers your questions about whether Jay-Z and Beyonce are being pimped. Yes, they are being pimped, and they have been basically put up to you guys as the pimp of gangster rap and his main prostitute. All right, so You guys can like, subscribe, look in the link. I'll give you the ABCs of Blackness, and you look for the poem My Beautiful Black Entertainers, and it'll explain and break things down for you. But you know how I do. If I'm still here next time, we're going to deal with some things. Bye.